Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching Max 101 one more time, man. And today, dude, this is like, it is a privilege to me, to introduce you, to Jimmy Allen, he's presenting a new project, Cooker, right? And Jimmy has lived in the, play music for a long time, since the 90s, right? So when do you start like, as a musician?
Yeah, I started it when it would have been in the 80s when I was a kid,
Wow.
and kind of yeah. So I've been playing guitar. Yeah, I've been playing guitar since I was 15, 16 years old. I started a little late compared to a lot of my friends and my mentors and teachers, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, but yeah, no. And now it's kind of just it's been so long that it's kind of like riding a bike now.
I'm gonna start a little bit with your experience, and then we're gonna get here to Cooker, and talk about the project. But back in the 90s, what was the first band you had?
Oh God, the first band I had would have been Puddle of Mud.
There you go. That's what it was. So I, wasn't certain or wasn't sure if it was Puddle of Mudd or you had another band, before that one. And how did you come with that idea, man? That was your idea, kind of. You're a founding member, right?
Yeah, I was the founding member. I kind of started the band. Wes, the guy who's the singer now, is he was kind of the last guy to join the band. And he kind of completed the picture, but it was kind of a working thing since I was 18 or 19 years old. So
And
it's
that's amazing, man. Yeah, I was probably 16. I'm like a little bit younger than you, but we lived the 90s like anybody else, right? Our
yeah,
generation probably is the coolest because we lived the 80s. We inherit all the 80s, and then I mean, we live a little bit the 80s, right?
yeah.
Like the 89,
Yeah.
87,
We
86
got to
probably.
see the hair metal thing come
Yeah.
apart in the late 90s when we were all like, "Well, hair metal's kind of cool." But yeah,
And then Nirvana, so
yeah,
when I saw Nirvana and I saw everything going down, it was kind of not cool for me because I love glam, I love all
yeah,
kind of music,
yeah.
but it was a definitely see the beginning, the end and the beginning of a new era. That was awesome, man. So going back to that moment, in the 90s, what's the difference that you notice, like from now, how the music industry was before versus now,
I think right now, I think with music, I think everything's really overdone and overthought. I think back then, I think things were real kind of, there was a simpler, kind of existence in the music industry. I know, just kind of having everything now seems like it's kind of over processed, overdone, just
Mhm.
over, and that's not saying it's not any good, but I think the 90s were the best time to be a musician because you kind of learned what was really true and that came from your heart and stuff, and now it just seems kind of contrived. I don't know. I mean, but
Yeah.
I still love music now, but I mean, it's the older music I kind of gravitate toward. So I guess I'm getting old.
Yeah, no, you're not, man.
Yeah.
I think
Thanks, buddy.
actually our age is the best because we have the experience, right? I think music has been, there's like a machine, right? But before we
Yeah,
did things because we were part of a movement, you know what I'm saying? Even in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s,
yeah,
then this started to be something else. I see a lot of bands coming back, how do you feel? How is to write a song and produce a song and come out with a final result now versus with Cooker, for example, versus the 90s.
yeah, yeah. Because with the cooker stuff, that's what we kind of did. Is we went instead of using computers, we went with analog, 24 track, and we went to tape. We were using tape. So we did like 4 days. I think I did my vocals in one, maybe 2 days, and so everything was kind of we didn't scrutinize over it. We didn't pick it apart, and we kind of kept it in that form that were the 90s, what they were kind of doing. Yeah.
Hmm. And do you use the same inspiration to write songs?
Yeah,
Or you
yeah, kind of.
change with it the time, or is because in the new album Cooker, what's the name of the new album? Setting the head on fire.
Uh-huh.
I have that sense. I feel that sense from the 90s, in your lyrics, deep lyrics,
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
bring I mean, it's a new band, but you bring a lot from the 90s, which to me is very cool, man.
yeah. It's like the self-loathing, the angst of the 90s. that they really come across. And with Cooker, that's what I kind of did, is I kind of wanted to have that kind of throwback and that kind of style, the just the self-loathing and all the angst and stuff, you know, from everybody from Alice in Chains to
Yeah,
Kurt
yeah.
Cobain to all that stuff, all the Seattle stuff I really love. So I always kind of carry that influence, I think, a little bit in all my songs.
And let's talk a little bit more about the album. How the idea, you know, the new album that you came up with this new band, right, Cooker? It's a very brand new band, like a few months old, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing it a long time. We just haven't really put it together and put it,
Okay.
you know, put the wheel to the grindstone, really, you know. So, but now it's a good time because I got a lot of time between writing projects and doing other stuff and other bands.
Cool.
And basically, I just riff on guitar. You know, I kind of always am riffing and making up songs. I think, you know, I've got like 500, you know, or so songs that I have.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing, man. You're a machine.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. Well, we were working in the studio last night until 5 in the morning. You know,
Wow.
so yeah. And then I had to wake up and go to church, and I was kind of tired, but God helped me out on that one.
Nice, man. That's very awesome. And tell me a little bit about the members of the band, Cooker.
Well, we hired a studio drummer to do it, and we think he's dead. We don't know where he's at.
You kidding me?
No,
So you're
we're
looking for a
total,
drummer?
yeah, no total Spinal Tap stuff, isn't it? You're like
Oh
you
my
try to
God.
find the drummer after you record the album, and you can't find him anywhere. We're like, okay, either he's married with kids somewhere and he's not telling us, or he's dead. Well,
Wow.
we're thinking he's dead. Spinal Tap, you know.
You kidding me, man? So this is a good moment to say, hey, we're looking for a drummer,
Yeah, yeah. We've got a couple guys lined up for the drum
oh,
position.
nice, nice, nice. That's
It's just the guy we used for recording. We can't find him.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And who else?
Troy McCoy, one of my good friends. He used to be in Puddle of Mud with me a long time ago, and
Oh,
he
wow.
was and so yeah, we just you know threw some songs together, you know, and we felt the best about the ones we put on the record. There's a couple that didn't make it, but maybe those will
Gotcha.
come out. Those will come out later, maybe.
Yeah, as a bonus track, or you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in the
You
new
got it.
album. We make a pause before we move to the other musician. So, working with somebody that you knew for so long, is that you know it probably makes the things easier. You know, like you look at each other and you know exactly what you mean. Just one gesture, one move, you know, and the other guy responds to the first one. You know,
Yeah,
like is that something that happens
yeah.
with
It's a
you
lot
guys?
easier that way, and also like if you're having a problem with something, instead of skirting around the issue, you can kind of just yell at them. They forgive you eventually, you know. You guys been friends that long.
You
They'll
don't have to
forgive
be
you. Just want
nice.
to be a diva every once in a while.
You,
Every
you,
once in a while, that diva comes out of me.
so you go straight to the bone, basically.
Yeah,
You don't have to be
exactly.
nice.
Yeah, you
Uh,
got it. Yeah.
but also, if you have a like a personal relationship, like if you have a problem outside of the band, is hey, I need to
Uh
talk
huh.
to you. That happens with you guys.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Do you call him, hey, I need to talk
Yeah.
about this, and hey, yeah, you have a friend here. Is that dude? That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, most of the time we talk about music, but then other times there's, you know, you just need somebody to listen to you vent. Yeah, Troy McCoy. Yeah, it's a three piece. It's just me playing guitar and singing, Troy playing bass, and you know, basically we hired a drummer and we can't find him.
Gotcha.
Not lying on that either. It sounds kind of weird, but yeah.
Let's talk about the album. You know, how can I buy this album? Is there any specific website? Streaming. Are you going to do a vinyl version?
Yeah, it's on Spotify. It's on iTunes. I think it's at Amazon if you want to buy the actual
Yeah,
CD. I want to say it's at Amazon for the actual. But streaming, you know, you got Spotify, you got Pandora, you got.
yeah. I
I
have
think
Amazon Music.
uh,
I have access to the album through
uh,
Amazon Music.
okay, cool. Yeah, so
Just
it's on
as a
Amazon.
FYI.
Yeah,
I feel from your lyrics, you know, like a deep sense of a lot of troubles that we don't want to see, you know, um, and also things that we as humanity suck. You know, like
yeah.
probably in 100 years, the humanity is going to be gone because we're going to destroy the planet. You know, we don't get along with each other.
We're lucky if we
Uh,
get 100, buddy. I'm just saying, we'd be
Yeah.
real lucky if we get 100. No, I think a lot of the stuff, yeah, what you're talking about, I'm glad you got that out of it because that's kind of what this song, that's kind of the thread that kind of keeps the Setting the Head on Fire record from Cooker. That's the thread that kind of keeps it together is kind of the whole, I mean, like this song like Robot, which is talking about like having no feelings and being disconnected from, exactly from what you're
Yes.
saying, and
Yes.
then, everything from Loop. There's a song called Loop that's about, just, not being happy with yourself and learning how you can grow from that and eventually be happy with yourself. And then there's, I mean, everything like you just said, it's about, the struggles of modern day man, like Bad
Yeah.
Unit's a song that Troy and I came up with that's, talking about having a bad unit, which is something that's just really, messed up, a screwed up, computer or screwed up amp, or you're kind
Yeah.
of taking it from that.
Yeah. So you know that you just mentioned my favorite song, Loop. Loop is
Oh, you
like
like Loop?
amazing, man. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
that's killer, man. Yeah, it's kind of a little hidden gem. Not
Yeah.
everybody gets that song because I'm kind of,
Talking.
I'm kind of talking. I'm kind of talking about. I'm talking out my problems, trying to help other people with theirs.
Yeah. Man,
Yeah,
that's awesome. It's like uh, I feel that the songs, the music and the artists create like suits. Like suits when you go to work. People who go to the office, and every song is a different suit, and we have
yeah,
one suit is gonna fit probably better than the other, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you put the suit on and it fits perfectly, and that's why I feel your songs are like, I feel Loop, it really it really fit, it's a suit that really fits me well, and I say, wow, man, this is kind of, this represent a little bit of my life, or stories that I heard, and it's so down to earth and real,
uh huh.
that brings me closer to the song and closer to your music and closer to the album, which is awesome.
Killer, Max. Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's kind of one of those songs that we kind of were talking about tucking in there, and then we kind of talked. We were kind of talking, well, does this song really fit with the other songs? And I was like, I don't really care if it fits. Let's just make it work.
Yeah,
And
what if we listen a little bit of Loop now? Let's
yeah, let's
see
go
if I
ahead.
can. Let's see if it works. I'm playing with technology here, so
That's
this
fine.
is settled with. I'm gonna try now. Let's see if it's coming. Yeah, this is
You,
Loop.
you hear everything okay? Everything good?
Yeah, you cannot listen to the song, but now I'm gonna put it up. I can listen to it. Yeah, this is
Okay,
Loop.
cool.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun. That's the intro, right?
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun, 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 dun. Beautiful, man. The intro is beautiful.
Yeah.
As I woke up this morning,
And now you're talking. As I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
I saw myself for what I truly was. Not how I wanted to be, but what I always
And a lot of those bands in
desired.
the '90s, they kind of had that kind of stuff.
Yes, yes. And now we're gonna go back to that kind of that section.
Okay.
The one in the crowd who
I just want
everyone always
to
feels
leave the
sorry
song
for.
run a little bit.
I realize
We are live too. We are talking on top of.
inside your little lie. Never living up to my goals or what I needed to be. But it's alright anyway.
And that was good, man.
Good.
What an amazing song, brother.
Killer.
Yeah, so we heard a little bit about you talking because I'm telling to the audience here, so Jimmy cannot hear the song because of technical issues that I'm having, but you guys can hear it, and we were just talking about that, Jimmy talking about a situation, real life situations, which I was saying, that I can fit that as a suit, and own that song, and that brings me closer to the band. And how many times, society made us feel as roach, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna victimize myself, but if you don't fit, if you don't meet the standards of society,
Uh,
you're gonna feel like a roach. So anyways, dude, it's so awesome talking to you about music, man. Thank you for your time.
hey, no problem.
Uh,
Thanks, Max.
yeah, sorry, I know you gotta go, but anything you wanna say to the fans out there for the Midnight Madness radio show, for Max One on One?
Yeah, I thank you, Max, and I thank all the fans that have been real supportive with all my stuff. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
coffee. I never loved